This case is expected to have profound implications on this year's election. And what's more is 3 of the 6 conservative justices on the high court were appointed by Trump. Take a look at those polls. There's former President Trump right at the top. You're on the other side of the spectrum. Are you concerned about tomorrow? More than 24 hours after Dahlia had passed, most of the waters have receded, except some neighborhoods are still flooded. The U.S. Department of Agriculture actually says that billions of dollars worth of crops would be affected if the population of pollinators really took a hit. A terrifying situation. The neighbor I talked to from this home right here tells me that it sounded and it felt like lightning had struck her home. Did you ever question if you thought this project would be a breach of privacy for those who had already passed? Israeli forces escalated the week-long violence in the region, bombing targets in southern Lebanon and Gaza. Is the president disappointed at all that this might have been a missed opportunity for a show of bipartisan support, not only to Americans, but to the Ukrainian president? Hundreds of pro-Palestinian protesters are out here just a couple of blocks away from the Capitol. Overhead, they are holding a massive Palestinian flag, and down here, they are holding the names of thousands of children they say have been killed in Gaza. Signs and banners have been left here outside the White House, some reading Free Palestine, others reading genocide. A remarkable scene in the Tennessee House of Representatives, 2 Democratic lawmakers expelled for leading a protest on gun violence. The FBI says rental scammers are on the hunt for people desperate to save some cash amid relentlessly high home prices. Pew Research shows that 2 million API voters have been added in the last 4 years. What does that translate to you? What is the most common denominator here is that they are calling on solidarity. They want peace between Israelis and Palestinians. Fulton County District Attorney says warrants have now been issued for all defendants in this indictment, including Trump, to be taken into custody. This is the kennel room, and if you can hear that sound, those are the sounds of the senior dogs who want your love. We could also see movement in an additional aid package for Ukraine, as there is overwhelming bipartisan support for that in the Senate. When I was in the courtroom, I was taking a look at their expressions. You know, many of them were tired, some of them were yawning, but they were still pretty attentive listening to both the state and defense. It's been a while since I've seen this much snow in the nation's capital, more than 5 inches in just the last 24 hours. This is actually a lake in front of the Washington Monument that's been completely frozen over.